What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jay Randall, and on this channel we discuss wisdom for the modern man. You know the deal. Well, guys, it's been a minute since I've done a live stream, but I was on YouTube today and I saw a recent post, recent upload from Piers Morgan Uncensored. And I watched a little bit of the video. The title of the video from Piers Morgan Uncensored is "Nothing Empowering About This. Can you be an OF creator and a feminist?" So I guess the main title is "Can you be an OF creator and a feminist?" And yeah, it is these two ladies. I don't remember their names, but I know one of them is that Farah chick. She's been on whatever podcast. She's like an OF creator. And I've seen this other lady she's debating as well, but I don't know her name. Either way, they had an interesting back and forth. I've watched a little bit of the video. Then I thought about it. It's like, you know what? This would be a great video to live stream with you guys. You guys can tune in, give your thoughts on the matter. We can discuss this topic. Can you be an OF creator and a feminist? Let's dive into that. But we're going to start the live stream. But before we do, guys, do me a favor. Like the video and leave a comment down below. It definitely has been growing tremendously fast, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. And yeah, stick around. There's plenty of content like this. And yeah, I appreciate if you guys could support the channel by liking, leaving a comment. That would really help me out. So without further ado, let's get right into the live stream. Let's watch this video.
There's absolutely nothing feminist about what you do. You've just cut out the middleman and you're commodifying the female body. There's nothing empowering about that.
Here's my question to you. Why is it not degrading to get naked for your husband if it's degrading to get naked for public men?
No, because that's a very simple answer.
Is it because you assume your husband's more likely to respect you? Your husband is the man in your life most likely to beat, rape, and murder you. Your husband's the man in your life who 50...
Man. Oh, we're starting off hot. We are starting off hot, boys, already. Just the feminist, just nastiness towards masculinity. Good Lord, let's get into it.
% of the time is going to cheat on you.
My only worry is that what it's become is a kind of genuine career path for a lot of young girls who might look at this and think, all I need to do is set up an OnlyFans account, take my clothes off, and a bunch of guys will pay money to watch me do my thing in a webcam or whatever it is.
A British philosopher once said, you can't spread your bum hole on a Saturday and then expect to be treated as a professional on a Monday.
The evolution of gender and feminism is a source of endless debate in popular culture. I tackle the issue head on in my new book, Woke is Dead, which includes some essential wisdom on the subject. I look forward to debating it. One question I admittedly did not think of tackling specifically was this one. Can you be an only feminist? Farha Khalidi says you can, and that she is living proof of it. Men paid to look at explicit content, blaming the women is just hypocritical. Esther Kraku, however, vehemently disagrees. So when we heard that both Esther and Farhad could be in the same studio at the same time, we thought what a perfect opportunity for a lively debate on this subject. So welcome to both of you. Esther, of course, I know you very well. Farhad, we've never met. We last appeared in a debate where you were down the line. We were talking about Lord's provocative new album, which featured a woman's pubic hair, I believe, on the cover. And you exchange. Let's look at the clip first.
We
say nothing sexual about it. I mean, I don't disagree with some of what you just said, but clearly this is intended to be sexual. I mean, it's not. You don't literally.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Really?
What, man? It's weird, the cognitive dissonance. It's just complete, genuine dishonesty with a lot of these feminists. It's like, that's why it's kind of pointless to have debates with them. I've been starting to realize this as I've been doing TikTok debates. Been trying to get into the debate sphere, kind of, realizing that when you really go back and forth with some of these people, you can't have a debate because they will genuinely, intentionally, knowingly lie about the obvious truths of the matter, and then the conversation ends there because we can't go a step further. If we look at a woman who's dressed half naked and we say, oh, this is clearly meant to be sexual, and then someone says, oh, actually, no, it's not. Well, where do you go from that? We have to have some basic, understanding of the truth and like to be able to have a conversation, but they refuse to concede any ground and will just blatantly lie about the facts of the matter. So I've been realizing, and this chick seems to be one of those.
And that you now have that as the banner for your X account.
I thought it was a funny screen grab. It looked like you were my father confronting me with something you found on my Instagram, and I was like looking away coyly. You can also tell I only own one dress, so.
But basically, you're using me to promote your account, so I'm hoping for a share of the spoils.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, thank you. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's get serious for a moment. So, OnlyFans is a massive business, generating billions of dollars. A lot of people doing all sorts of different things on there. It's not just about, you know, women doing sex work, whatever they want to call it. How would you categorize what you do on OnlyFans?
I mean, my content isn't necessarily that extreme, but I definitely don't want brownie points from people who are eager to slut shame the women who do more extreme content. So when I go on platforms, I just call myself a digital prostitute because, you know, I want the backlash for it. So
A digital prostitute?
an e-prostitute, yeah.
What does that mean?
You know, like an e-girl or an e-boy. I just find it's not actually physical or in the real world or tangible, but it's virtual.
And do you actually have sex on your?
Actually a virgin.
Really?
Yeah.
She's still pushing that old
cool.
thing. Every platform she goes on, she's just constantly pushing this whole I'm a virgin, I'm a virgin. I'm a sex worker. You know, I show myself naked. I don't even know what she does. She never says that either. She never ever says what kind of content she makes. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure I could easily find it if I went on X, but I don't want to see this chick naked. So we're just not going to do that. But she always keeps pushing this narrative that she's a virgin. Strange.
What, you don't believe her?
Absolutely not.
Oh, why would she lie?
Well, I don't know what the connection is.
Why would she lie? Nigga. She's a woman doing sex work. Okay, they're not the most upstanding individuals of society. I think lying is a pretty easy thing for women of their caliber.
Between, again, I mean, that's why I partly
Are you being serious? Or you?
I'm being dead ass, and that's partly why I do OnlyFans, is because I'm trying to point out that, like, you could be a virgin in a way that isn't about purity culture or religion. You could be a virgin in a feminist way, which means you don't want to bite the bullet and, you know, just join hookup culture or just put out just because society tells you to. And I think it's really has a monopoly on abstinence culture because 45% of women regret their first time. 30% of women regret, like, a sexual experience in the last 12 months, right? So I'm very interested in carving out.
Yeah, well, that's because they're engaging in hookup culture. Okay, like most women report not liking the sexual experience or not being satisfied from their hookup culture, but they also report having more pleasurable experiences in a long-term, like committed relationship. So obviously, then stop sleeping around. Like, it's a very simple solution.
Because for secular women, non-religious women, feminist women to also know that they can hold on to their chastity if they want to in a way that doesn't align with the toxic purity culture.
How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26?
Yeah.
So, Esther, why would you not believe her when she says she's a virgin?
I don't know many virgins that strip off and call themselves e-prostitutes. I think it's quite rare.
It doesn't mean she's not.
I mean, it's.
Come on, Pierce. I mean, he's playing devil's advocate. I get it, but it's like, bro, come on, dude. If I'm over here smoking weed, doing drugs, and then I'm over here trying to convince you that, you know, I'm actually a pastor, you're going to be like, really, bro? Like, come on. It just doesn't align with the profession.
It's definitely a unique perspective. Can I just ask why? So it's empowering to take your kit off, and I'm assuming, I don't know how extensive your
But what kind of thing do you do on your?
portfolio is,
I mean, sort of categorise it for those who've never
I mean,
seen
you just
it.
gotta subscribe and see. I would
boys.
No, subscribe and see, but
subscribe and see. I mean, I offer a girlfriend experience. You could come on and I'll pretend to be your girlfriend for a little while, pretend to not be repulsed by you. I offer slutty photos and videos, and
Oh,
yeah, I
God.
just don't know what the connection is to virginity. You know, there really is no.
Well, I guess if
connection.
you're massively sexualising yourself, there'll be a
Right.
presumption that you've had sex, and it's quite interesting to me that you say you've never had sex.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole point, right? That's what I'm saying, is like people are unable to conceive of virginity outside of just wanting to appeal to the male gaze and being attractive to men. And I'm not a virgin because I think it'll make me more appealing in the dating market. I'm a virgin because most women regret their first time. They regret biting the bullet. Our dating pool is full of horrible men. And I think women should wait more so that they're not just going through that ringer of sexual regret.
Esther?
I'm rarely speechless, Piers.
You are.
But I think I'm actually speechless. So you
She
don't.
doesn't have a response.
Well, no, it's not that I don't have a response. First of all, this ideology. I mean, look, it's your personal belief, and you can obviously do what you want with your body. I'm just confused what you find empowering about showing pictures of your anus on the internet. Can you explain that?
I can. Well, first of all, I just want to point out that, like, it's really interesting to me that the first time the culture and men specifically are interested in talking about, like, the morality of sex work and how it's degraded, and namely its effects on relationships, is conveniently once women like me started turning a 7-figure profit off of it, right? Up until the advent of OnlyFans, it was exclusively feminist. It was exclusively
But there's nothing
women.
feminist about what you do. You do realize
As
that.
I was saying, it was exclusively women. It was exclusively feminists who were the sole critics of Pornhub. It was exclusively women who would protest things like Playboy. Like Andrea Dworkin put out a book on porn saying men possessing women. And in response, Playboy churned out these cartoons depicting her fucking other women, basically calling her a dyke and a man-hating bitch, right? Anytime women protested pornography, men said that you are vilifying male sexuality, and men were so eager to make porn synonymous with male sexuality, right? And I just think it's interesting.
But that's exactly what you do. Like,
What?
your customer base are men. You sell the girlfriend experiences to other women.
I do have some lesbians on there, yeah.
Okay, but it's predominantly men, and I don't think there's absolutely.
So disingenuous. I'm gonna let her keep cooking. I'm gonna see where this conversation goes.
Nothing feminist about what you do. You've just cut out the middleman, but you're basically working in the patriarchal economy, and you're commodifying the female body. There's nothing empowering about that. I don't know what your definition of empowerment is. Momentary autonomy, which is basically what you do. I can do what I want. Every human being should be able to do what they want, because that's, by virtue of being a human being, you should have a freedom over your body. Empowerment is composed of 3 things. One, it's yes, exercising autonomy when you want. It's 2, being able to make those choices responsibly and to live with the consequences, which I don't think you actually can or really have contemplated
hang on,
it. But the
agree.
third,
Like,
the third thing is
hang on.
making choices that don't limit opportunities that you have in the future.
To play devil's advocate here, it seems like she ticks all those boxes, you would say, right? I mean, you know what you're doing. You're
Well, I
taking
mean, I agree
responsibility
with what she's
for
saying.
it.
I'm not a choice feminist. I think choice feminism is intellectually lazy. I think the
There's
choices
even more
you
of a
make.
breakdown. Okay.
What?
There's choice feminism now. That's an interesting intellectualization. Please continue.
No, I say I'm not a choice feminist. I thought you were saying
What
you were
do you mean
against choice
choice
feminist. Like,
feminism?
you were just saying that, like, okay, me saying my body, my choice isn't morally interesting enough, that I
No,
need
I'm
to have
saying
more
there's
than that.
nothing feminist about what you do, because it has nothing to do with female empowerment. All you've
But isn't
done,
the whole-
all you've done is
But
cut
isn't
out
the point?
middleman.
Okay, but
question.
Esther,
Why
isn't
is it? Why
isn't
is
the
it?
whole point of feminist empowerment that actually a woman can do what she wants with her body?
No, I don't.
Empowered to do what exactly? I thought empowerment. It's weird. I'm not sure exactly how they're using the word empowerment. I thought empowerment was to better oneself, to be better, to strive for a better version of you, higher goals. I thought that was what we were dealing with empowerment. It feels like, or it seems like, with autonomy. Like, autonomy and empowerment are 2 different things. Women have autonomy, and they can do literally whatever with their body. That they already have. But is the act of doing whatever with your body empowering? Is that a better you? Is that a more enhanced you, a better, more successful you? Is that, the next level of you? Have you, you know what I'm saying? Have you transcended? I don't know. It feels, I'm not even going to say it feels. It feels like, I said it feels again. Bro, I'm listening to too many of these TikToks. It sounds as though they're conflating the words. I don't think they're using it correctly.
I actually don't even agree with that.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
it's not.
It's not. No, it's
Wow, I've been led up a garden path.
Here
No,
would be
it's
my
not.
question to you. Why is it not degrading to get naked for your husband if it's degrading to get naked for public men?
No, because
for men in the public
that's a very
domain?
simple answer,
Is
because-
it because you assume your husband's more likely to respect
Because
you? Your
it's in the
husband is the man
context-
in your life most likely to beat, rape, and murder you. Your husband's the man in your life who 58% of the
Oh my
time is going to
gosh.
cheat on you. Your husband's the man in your life who 50% of marriages end in divorce, and women cite that they felt disrespected, right? So why are you assuming that by sexualizing yourself for your husband, you're reserving a seat of respect from a man versus sexualizing yourself for the public domain?
Because you're not sexualizing yourself for your husband. You're
Unbelievable.
engaging it into.
I'm gonna let her keep going. Then I'll give my take on what she
intimacy
just
in the
said.
context of a committed relationship that has
One in which he's 50% likely to cheat on you, 50% likely to end in
everything comes
divorce.
with risk, but I'm sorry, treating your body like a bunch of orifices for hire is not more empowering. Women that are in committed relationships that are married are much less likely to be in poverty than women that are not. There are actually societal benefits of women being in committed relationships, realizing loneliness in men, which is basically what you're doing. A man.
Yeah, and on top of that, women who are in serious relationships are less likely to be sexually abused. They report having better sexual experiences. She made that concern earlier that women are not having great sexual experiences. Yeah, they report that from casual sex. They report having better sexual experiences in a committed long-term relationship. So, but she made another point. She said so many things. She just like rapid fire machine gun, vomits a bunch of crap out before you get to respond to any of it. But yeah, she said a lot of crap, bro. I'm gonna try to pay more attention to it. She just spits it out.
Paying you a virgin, which I'm assuming is because you've never had a relationship, for the girlfriend experience is laughable. It is ridiculous. And
I don't believe in the male loneliness epidemic. Did you know that study found 89% of OnlyFans subscribers are married men? The male loneliness epidemic is absolute bullshit.
That's pathetic. But the point is,
let me ask.
I don't have a problem.
Well, it's probably because they're not getting enough sex in their relationship. Responsibility, I'm not going to absolve men of all responsibility on that. Men are definitely watching way too much pornography. But, just look at the reports from married men. They definitely do not get enough sex from their wives. And that is a huge contributor to married men, seeking this out. If that man was getting it daily, or at least multiple times a week, right? He would be satisfied and off doing other things. But most men in these relationships are not sexually satisfied. Their wives are not giving them sex. They're not taking care of their husbands in that way. So it leaves men to have to seek out other ways to find their fulfillment. So women definitely have a part to play in this.
Ladies, time out. Let me just try to get my head around this. So I'm curious about the economics of this, because I'm told that, for instance, there's this woman, Sophie Rain, said to be OnlyFans' biggest earner, with estimates of up to $50 million a year.
What?
From her business.
Damn. Holy crap, dude. $50 million from doing porn a year? A year, bro? I thought it was going to be so far, gross from all the years she's done it. But doing those numbers yearly? Holy. Good Lord, that is insane.
How much are you making?
I don't share the specifics, but I've made over $1 million.
Over $1 million? Yeah. In what period of time?
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You did train to go to law school, right?
I was initially planning on going to law school, but I started doing TikTok full-time.
What do your family make of what you're doing? Honestly.
Well, my father's dead, and my mom is tolerant of it, I think. She was more opposed to me even putting myself out there on TikTok when I was just doing very casual skit content and stuff, right? So to her, this is just another extension of that.
And extended family? You have any siblings?
I do have siblings. I think they just find it cool. Not necessarily the OnlyFans specifically, but I think they think it's cool that I do social media and do stuff like this.
I'm interested in this whole feminist empowerment thing, because I assumed, falsely it appears, that meant the whole point of it was men shouldn't be. She has power over what she does. She has power over her idea of femininity. She can do what she wants. If she wants to show off on her OnlyFans account to people prepared to pay to watch it, and it's all legal, why do you care?
I don't care, but I think the idea of calling it empowerment and somehow feminist is completely ridiculous. And this is why definitions matter. This idea that having momentary autonomy over your body is somehow empowering. I'm sorry, gorilla being should and does ideally have autonomy over their body. That's a pretty low bar.
You're not comparing it to a gorilla.
I'm not. I'm just saying every living thing
Instigating.
has some sort of autonomy over their own body. We're talking about empowerment, which is what feminism was supposed to be. Feminism was supposed to be about autonomy, obviously, and having choice over your body. It was supposed to be about allowing women to make choices that give them the dignity and independence to pursue their own lives as they see fit. And also in pursuit of that, with the responsibility of making the choices that you're making, knowing that those choices will actually give you more opportunities in the future. None of what you do qualifies for that other than the momentary autonomy. Your options are not going to expand, right? It's going to be a lot harder if you want to be a politician, for example, or a CEO,
But
or a lawyer.
what if she
because
doesn't want to be?
That's fine. By the way, that's fine. But part of empowerment is also being able to make those choices responsibly and live with them.
Are you in a relationship?
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh,
With a man, or
Yeah.
how long has that been going on?
It's pretty new.
Cooked.
And what does he feel about what you do?
He's supportive.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually been on this show.
Do you?
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on, who is it?
You know Dr. Jack Symes?
Yes. When did I interview him?
Doctor Who?
About...
Does he know that he's being?
No, hang on. I'm trying to remember who he was.
No, he doesn't know I'm on OnlyFans.
No, does he
hasn't looked me
know
up
that
yet.
his
I use an
relationship-
alias.
Well, when-
Homie, it's cooked, bro. What is it with these guys? Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. Maybe you guys in the comment section can help me wrap my head around it, but I just can't understand how a man with options. I understand a man without options. Now, I don't know how this guy looks or what he does or if he has game or whatever I don't know his situation. But I just don't understand how men can actually choose the whore. Like, I don't understand it. You know, there's like that natural revulsion that comes up in my stomach when I think of taking a hoe seriously. That just revulsion is like, ugh. You know, a casual situation, you don't feel that. The second you think of taking her seriously, I feel sick to my stomach. And it appears some men, an increasing number of men, strangely don't have that response. You know, they're like the destiny types who can just take a hoe seriously and fall in love with them. I can't reject the whole concept of that. You know, maybe it's like like they're saying the lower testosterone. Maybe it's the lower testosterone that's allowing certain men, you know, certain groups of men to bypass that biological response of revulsion from a promiscuous woman that allows them to like, take chicks like her seriously. It's incredibly strange to me. I just really physically can't conceptualize like actually doing that. I would feel so.
So what was he on for on Uncensored?
With Natalie Winters talking about like the Quran and sexual violence or something.
Yes, I remember this, yes. So did you meet him through this show?
Through this show?
Yeah, was it after you saw him on the show that you...
I'm sure he saw more salacious content elsewhere. And
Yeah, he subscribed to my OnlyFans. He couldn't get enough. No, I met him at another like philosophy event we were at.
But he knows what you do,
Of course.
and he's fine with that.
Yeah.
You saw the delay there? You saw the delay, bro. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what this guy's situation is. Like, I don't care enough to go look him up, and I don't care. If he wants to cuck himself out, that's his problem. There's enough content on the internet to warn men to not make that decision. Literally, if he just types in red pill or, you know, men's dating advice, you'll hear from thousands, if not millions of men telling you, hey, don't take hoes seriously, don't date OnlyFans chicks. So, you know, if he wants to cuck himself out and go down that path, he's free to do so. But I don't think he's fully okay with it because she definitely delayed. And I've heard girls say that their boyfriends were okay with them being sex workers, and they're very quick to respond with, yeah, he's totally fine. He knows. He supports it. He's a part of it. He films. He does this. And those girls, I believe, that delay makes me question.
okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You seem a little bit like unsure.
Well, it's not like it's gonna be like ecstatic, jumping for joy about it. But
Yeah,
But
you
you're
see?
empowered.
he's not sure.
He's like, I'll tolerate it. I don't even, well, she says she's a virgin. I highly doubt it. Like, really highly doubt it. But let's run with the idea that she is a virgin. Very unlikely, but let's run with that for a second. She's most likely, you know, giving him head or the back door, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's just... yeah, because I honestly can't... Like, what's the benefit? Getting with a chick like her, she's not having sex with you, and your reputation's being dragged through the mud because you're aligning yourself with a whore. Like, this literally a lose-lose situation for a man. So there has to be something he's getting out of this. Either it's money, opportunity. I don't know how the kind of opportunity that would be, but bro, you got to be getting something. Or he just likes being cucked out. Maybe he's one of those cuck dudes.
Would he rather you give it up?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. It's a pretty new relationship.
Right.
He's cooked.
Let me get straight to the point. Gold is up by around 40% this year. That's not speculation.
All right,
that's
Mr.
reality.
Pierce, we're going to
And some of you
skip
also
this. Sorry, buddy.
Out of the nature of the investment. On Americans, they have countless success
Oh my
stories,
gosh,
including
brother.
from some
We're going to
very
skip.
Anyway.
So anyways, why is it degrading for me
Well,
to
yes,
just have vanilla? If I were to just show myself just naked, nothing degrading. I'm not getting shat on. I'm not getting pissed on. I'm not doing
Why
nice
is that
play
even
online.
degrading? What? But what?
Oh, getting pissed on, man. Oh, Lord. Some girls do that. That's like a thing. That is a thing. Yeah, these girls are weirdos.
How do you assume that even just being in a state of undress, there's nothing degrading about it for random people that don't know you?
Well,
Why is it not degrading to do it for
wait a
your
minute.
husband, who's
Wait a
most
minute.
likely
Wait a minute.
to-
Time. Now, I'm going to call you up on this.
Okay.
Because you, on your Instagram, do often post videos
I
of
do a pole
yourself
dance, yeah.
pole dancing, and you're very good at it.
Yeah.
But you're often quite scantily clad.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I need skin
Yeah.
contact. First of all, I will tell you why.
I have a photo.
I need skin contact with the pole to actually grip the pole to do what I do. Like, that's just the nature of the sport. And I certainly don't do it for the male gaze, and no one pays me for it. It's just a form of cardio and sport. But what I
Really?
Yeah, it is. That's actually really difficult.
You only do it for cardio?
Yeah, I only do it for cardio.
Really?
I promise, yeah. But
A British philosopher once said, "You can't spread your bum hole on a Saturday and then expect to be treated as a professional on a Monday." And this is my colleague right here, Esther Foucault. Why post it? Why post it? Why not just do it privately?
because I
Look
want
at this.
to.
I've never even been upside down on camera.
I'm sure you've done
do
other
you think of
things on
that?
camera.
Well, I do think it's
But you can subscribe and
Why
find
is this?
out.
Why is this okay? Why did she have to post it? Why did she have to post this?
Because I was in a pole club.
Oh, this is worse. You did it for free.
Also, I should get
I'm hiring
paid.
my parents.
I should get.
The hoes are going at it, bruv. Oh, it's hilarious. It's like promiscuous woman attacks promiscuous woman. It's like both of them are a lost cause. Both of them have lost the argument. There's no win. I mean, I'm more, of course, on this lady's side in the black, obviously, making more sense. But at the same time, I wouldn't want my girl posting videos of her on a pole on the internet. Like, what? That's crazy too. So while I agree with her stance, I disagree with what she's posting. But let's see these chicks go at it.
Paid. Oh, okay. Here's the
So
thing.
why did you post this?
Here's the thing.
Were you
because
teaching people?
because I wanted to. I've actually taught as well.
Oh,
before.
I thought it has to be empowering. You can't just be your body, your
I'm
choice.
sorry. I'm not the one sitting on the internet, spreading my legs open, and telling
Yes, you
people to pay
are.
me
Yes,
for it.
you- yes,
Hold on,
that's
telling people
worse.
to pay me for it, and then saying that's somehow empowering to women. If you knew anything about pole dance-
so
No,
you're
but do
posting
you know
this and
how?
saying,
Do you
I'm
know
not saying this is empowering. I'm degrading myself, but I'm posting it anyway. Is that what you're saying?
how is that degrading myself?
Well, she's a very highly skilled pole dancer.
Oh.
Well, it is a.
I was going to ask what can you do, but I'm sure you have to subscribe to find out. But the
You
point
do.
I was making is, you do realize there are gradations between domestic abuse and online prostitution. Do you recognize that?
Wait, explain. What do you mean?
Well, you keep saying that what is the difference between getting naked from my husband, who's 50% more likely to beat me up and 50% more likely
He's
to
the
rape me
man in
and
your
all that?
life most likely to kill you. So I'm asking you,
Yeah,
why
but
is it?
Yeah, okay, so stupid. That's like saying, women are the most likely to, kill infants, which is true, but most women don't, though. You know what I'm saying? That statistic is really, the way she's presenting it is misleading. It's making it seem like it's more prevalent than it is. That is the same way women are it's mostly women who kill children, but most women don't, though. Most men, yes. Well, I don't even know I don't even want to accept her stat because I don't know if it's actually true, because she has a very malicious view on men, masculinity, and so I don't even want to, say that it's true. But let's say for the sake of argument that it is, it's still misleading because most men don't abuse their partners physically and beat them up. So that's just blatantly false. And on top of that, we know from domestic violence statistics that when there is domestic violence, it's both parties hitting on each other. So she's also leaving that part of the statistic out. And then we also know that when it's one-sided abuse, it's the woman hitting the man. She's leaving that part out of the statistic. So she's really just painting this image. It's the way feminists argue. They take one part of the statistic that paints the most damning image of men and masculinity, and they use that as a fear tactic to scare women to join their side. They recruit women through fear that you can't rely on a man because he's going to abuse you and financially take advantage of you. Fear that you can't trust a man because he's going to cheat on you. Fear that you can't live with a man because he's going to beat you up and abuse you. Fear that he's going to sexually assault you. Fear that, the average man around you wants to sexually assault you, so you should choose the bear. They recruit women through fear or skewed statistics where they don't share the full story. And that's just, I've noticed how they move, and you really have to hold their feet to the fire and force them to give the full context of the study they're citing, or, just attack their arguments in other ways, because this fear tactic is very effective with women, because you got to understand, women are the weaker gender. Women are concerned about their safety. They are concerned about their security. So when you present fear-based scenarios around financial well-being and physical well-being to women, they're very quick to hear that and then run with it, and then use that as their talking points, as opposed to really looking into whether or not it's actually true.
That's domestic violence, and actually what you cited as murder. And not just that,
cheating on you is a form of disrespect. The fact that most marriages ended divorce with women filing for divorce because they felt disrespected, either because of adultery, because of emotional abuse, physical abuse. They felt like their husband wasn't listening to them.
The cheating statistics are pretty much the same nowadays when it comes to men and women. The cheating statistics are darn near the same. And I would argue that the cheating is more prevalent on the women. In fact, I wish I had it pulled up, man. I'm not logged into my TikTok account, but I was literally looking at a TikTok video. I'll probably do like a reaction video to it on this channel, maybe the next 2 days or so. But there was a therapist, and she was admitting, hey guys, this is something that me and the other people that I work, and it's a trend that we've all been noticing, me and my coworkers. The trend is that women are starting to be the ones who are the committers of adultery in relationships. Like, they are the perpetrators. It's no longer the trend where it's the men who are stepping out. It's the women who are stepping out. And she was just coming out and finally saying, here's what we've been noticing. I'm telling you guys, and I've always known women have been cheating more because, like I said, I've been out here doing my thing out here for quite some time. And when you do that, you get to see when you're like a player, you get to see behind the scenes of how women actually move, how they treat their boyfriends, how they treat their husbands. And so I already knew the way women moved. It's just that they're very sneaky and conniving, and they cover their tracks really well. Men get caught cheating all the time. Men are very bad at planning, and they're very bad at manipulation when it comes to actually a game plan of execution. Men are really bad at doing that. Women are experts at deception. So they just never get caught. So the statistics don't bear out how much female infidelity is going on. They really don't. So that statistic right there does nothing for me. Oh, women are complaining that men are stepping out. Yeah, she's probably stepping out. Women are stepping out far more than men are in relationships. Then she said something about women complaining that they're not being respected. Or, bro, women say a lot of things, bro. They say a lot of things. A lot of stupid things. There's a trend going on right now where women are literally admitting to having the perfect man who does everything, checks all the boxes. He's loyal, he's faithful, he's good to her, he's good with the kids, he provides for the family. But her feelings are prompting her to step outside the relationship or go find someone else, to end the relationship, to go find herself, to go find something that makes her feel. So if these women are feeling disrespected, that doesn't mean that that's actually what's happening, because women feel a lot of things. They feel so much things. You really have to go situation by situation with these women and really look at it, because if they just say, oh, I feel disrespected and that's why I left, she could be saying that because the man, told her she can't certain types of clothes, or she doesn't feel respected because whatever the case may be, or he's firm and he has boundaries, whatever. Women feel, bro, saying women feels, as soon as you say that, I immediately just disregard it. I'm not saying that it's completely unviable. There are situations where women are being disrespected, but you can't just take women for granted. You can't just take women at their word when they say they feel a certain way. You have to look at the facts of the matter. Was she actually disrespected, or is it just her feelings running away with her? Because literally that's what they do.
I'm not saying they should sell themselves. I'm saying I don't subscribe to the delineation that by sexualizing yourself just for your husband rather than for the public eye, that you are somehow doing it for someone who respects you more and loves you more.
How do you feel about the likes of Bonnie Blue and these others who are...
I'm sorry, I know I'm stopping it, but I just have to attack her points, because if I don't, she's just going to do the destiny talk and just keep, rapid firing going. She spoke about, how is it more respectful to get naked for your husband rather than getting naked for a bunch of randos who don't know you. Well, first of all, your husband has signed a contract. Most of them, has signed a contract, putting themselves in immense financial risk. That's a huge, proof that he actually is taking you seriously and respects you if he's going to put that much burden and responsibility on himself and put himself in that financial risk. He also is going to protect you, take care of you, provide for you. Okay? I'll tell you this, man. When I was out here, bro, any girl who wasn't my girlfriend and I was dealing with, I had no respect for them, bro. The only girl that I respect is the one I'm committing to, and I'm committing to her because she has certain values that I appreciate. But I'll have 4 or 5 of them out here, like her, like Farah, doing their thing, being liberated. I promise you're not getting respect from me. I'm going to treat you like a human being. I'm going to treat you, with human decency, but me respecting you for what you do and how you live your life, bro, you will never get my respect. So absolutely, men respect women who they're committed to, because men don't just commit to anybody. Well, at least high quality men don't just commit to anybody. They look for certain qualities. So yeah, but then again, she knows her argument is stupid. But she's just one of those feminists who are going to play dumb and act like she doesn't understand the dynamic, because that's the only way she can continue to push her point.
I'm gonna have sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours and stuff.
I mean, I see her kind of as more of a performance artist. I feel like it's funny
A
that people
performance
see her
artist is
as
hilarious.
a consequence of feminism, when in reality she's more of a consequence of the male gaze. When she says stuff like, anyone can fuck me, like a married man, a 18-year-old boy, a father-son duo, people are like, this is the ultimate logical consequence of feminism. And I'm like, no, it's not. She's literally holding up a mirror to the popular porn categories, which have reigned at the top of the hub for the past 2 decades, right? So I think it's ridiculous that people associate that with feminism.
Do you think there's a lot of hypocrisy around the criticism?
Are you not a
I
consequence
think it's
of the male
ridiculous
gaze?
that they see her as, again, the logical consequence of feminism, when she's basically just the purest form of the porn industry, which feminists were protesting for decades. And suddenly now other people want to protest only because of OnlyFans.
If you got married and had a daughter, would you want her doing this?
I would be opposed to her making that type of decision until she was at least 23, 25. I'd be opposed to her even putting, you know, posting what Esther posts until she's 23, 25. I'd be opposed to her
I'm
having
almost
her
30.
But
sexual
OnlyFans
debut.
allows women to do it.
What?
When they're-
I'm 30. I'm not a child.
I didn't say you were. He was saying what I want my daughter to do.
OnlyFans allows you
I
to
wouldn't
do it.
even want my daughter to be having sex until she's like 23, 25, because when you look at longitudinal studies of sexual regret, you're least likely to regret those types of things when your sexual debut, when you lose your virginity,
You
is
can
around
be 18
23.
on OnlyFans. That's the legal cutoff point to start doing.
Yeah, and
the
I'm
kind
saying
of
I would
thing you do.
advise my daughter to wait until she's 23 to even post like a bikini photo on Instagram, because the rates of sexual regret in general just completely plummet after the age of 23.
Do you know why sexual regret, though, is higher? It's not because of the age. It's because they're in the context of casual sex.
Yeah,
and the
because,
reason why,
because of sexual coercion.
It's not,
and you're actually
No.
most likely to be sexually coerced by a romantic partner rather than a casual partner. Women report being most likely to be reported into violent sexual.
As opposed to a casual partner. What are you talking about? A romantic partner is trying to take you seriously. A casual partner is going to coerce you way more because they don't care. They don't care. He's just like, bro, I'm going to say whatever. I'm going to do whatever to get what I want out of this situation. Then I'm out of here. A romantic partner actually genuinely cares about you. He's going to treat you far better. Actually be in a long-term relationship with you. He's going to care far more about your sexual experience than the casual dude. Bro, like, she's literally just pulling this out her butt, bro, because women report casual situations as being the most unfulfilling. They literally report sexual experience in the confines of relationships as far more fulfilling, far better. So where is she getting this stat from? This is complete BS.
Acts by their boyfriend or husband, and that's why pimps, for instance, are so eager to employ like the lover boy method, because they know nothing gets a woman saying yes faster to a sexual act than playing boyfriend or husband. So when you talk about sexual regret and sexual coercion,
Bruh.
it's not more from casual sex. It's actually more likely to be caused by your boyfriend or husband. Did
Does
you know
it
that?
concern
No.
you?
It's actually under
That's
the
not
influence.
true.
It's also because under the influence of drugs and alcohol, which is when a lot of sexual encounters
Okay, but what do you
take
think
place.
about that? The
and
fact
you're
that
actually
women are
citing studies
statistically
by the
that women
American
are more.
Psychological
What do you think of the
Association
fact
that you
women
don't really know.
No, genuinely address it. What do you think of the fact that women are most likely to be pressured into sexual acts by a boyfriend or husband because that type of arrangement that you see as so loving and respectful actually primed her for coercion?
Well, first of all, that's self-reported.
That is such BS, bro. How are you coercing somebody that you're in a romantic situation with? I mean, you can, but typically, if you're trying to take a girl seriously, you're not coercing her, bro. Like, she wants to. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I see far more coercion when the guy doesn't give a care. Like, he doesn't care at all. That's when he's going to employ every tactic in the book because he doesn't care. He's only thinking about what he wants. If a guy's in a romantic situation and he actually likes the girl, he cares about her outcome. Bro, I'm just going to let them keep spouting nonsense.
So we don't
Oh,
actually know the
okay.
context behind. And secondly,
Because you were just
and
so eager
secondly-
to cite sexual
and-
regret
and-
in the
I'm
context of casual sex, and now that it's inconvenient, now you're like, well, that's self-reporting. It doesn't really count.
No, but the point is, if they're in a relationship where they feel pressured to commit sexual acts, they're in the wrong relationship. And usually, do you know how to model a right relationship? When you've seen it, when you've seen people in healthy, stable relationships. I don't know why you jump from one extreme to another, because you clearly have a very negative association with sex and hang-ups around it. And you just think, I'm just going to make myself safe by being this virginal weirdo that spreads my legs on the internet. But somehow, being in a healthy, stable relationship, which has actually been the prime conditions for building a society, having loving relationships, raising children.
I am in a
Somehow
healthy,
that's
stable relationship. I'm not
yes, I'm sure.
anti-relationship.
That's why he's so thrilled that you're on OnlyFans. But wait until you have that conversation. I'm sure he'd love the mother of his child to have a bumhole spread on.
Does it concern you that OnlyFans is owned by a Ukrainian billionaire who's making a fortune?
Women have cut out the middlemen, so it's empowering.
My point being, he's a man. Does it bother you?
What industry isn't run by some male billionaire? I don't know what that has to do with anything. And that's kind of my point. Is I'm not going to argue
it's
that.
the patriarchy, isn't it?
I'm not going to
I mean,
argue.
Barbie would have a
It's the
fit.
ultimate
I'm not going to
patriarchy.
argue that a lot of the sex work industry isn't rife with exploitation, but the way I see it is like you could look at the cocoa industry, and a lot of that's also rife with like really unethical labor practices. That wouldn't make it unethical for me to grow chocolate in my backyard and eat it, right? So I think we need to be able to separate the like immorality of like the supply chain
let me
and
ask you,
labor
look, just-
practices of
look, I
porn
don't-
and the actual morality
okay.
of the product.
Fine, I don't know you.
So even if there's a lot of men taking advantage of these women and coercing them, that doesn't make it inherently wrong.
I hear you. Listen, you've got a sort of machine gun style of defending yourself. What I haven't seen much from
Exactly.
you is a smile. I'm not entirely sure that you massively enjoy
You have to
this.
subscribe for that, Piers.
No, it's not that. I just wonder how much you actually enjoy it, or whether it's a job and it's making you lots of money, but that actually, if you didn't have to do this for the money, you'd be out of it in a million miles an hour. Does it actually make you happy?
I do enjoy it because I grew up in a pretty conservative Muslim household, and what's interesting about a lot of these purity cultures is that they claim to be so anti-sex, and in the process of it, they sexualize you relentlessly. You're constantly being are long enough that your clothes aren't too form-fitting, and I found that so sexually uncomfortable for me. And I find what I'm doing now, yes, I do find it liberating having gone through that, yes.
What? How are they sexualizing you if they're trying to protect you? Here's the thing. Men are always going to look at you from a sexual standpoint. I don't think it's possible for a man not to look at a woman from a sexual standpoint. We're guys, we got to stop pretending like we're not here to reproduce, man. We've let society think that because we're so advanced now that we've somehow transcended our natural biology and our purpose here on the planet. We are here to reproduce. In case you were unaware, that means sex. And as men, as being the ones who pursue, we're always looking at women from a sexual standpoint. We're supposed to. They are. That's their whole thing. That's our whole thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's our literal makeup. I'm not going to sit here and feel bad because I was literally designed by God to view women from a sexual standpoint. How else am I supposed to view them from? I'm supposed to view them like I do a guy? I don't care about a guy from a sexual standpoint. I care about women from a sexual standpoint. So yeah, I look at them and I think like sexually. Now, of course, the Bible tells you try to control your thoughts, control your urges, and you can do that. But to pretend like I don't view her from a sexual standpoint is foolish. So this is why all the religions, since knowing that this fact is inescapable, we put things in place to help men not view women, to help basically to help aid men not solely view them as a sexual standpoint, or help curve their urges, right? It's literally a system, and that system is not malicious. It protects women. It helps control men, and it helps protect women. But women want to live in a society where they're free to basically flash like raw meat in front of the lion, and then also, shame the lion for wanting to eat the meat. It's like, bro, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. You're sexualizing me. I was like, yeah, you're half naked. What do you want me to do about that? I'm designed to look at you from a sexual standpoint, and you're wearing as little clothes as humanly possible. How is that supposed to play out differently? It's strange.
Do you?
I do.
Or
What do you
You
think?
could just be somewhere in the middle and just make decisions for yourself and understand that actions have consequences. You don't necessarily have to sexualize yourself to feel liberated. And
Why did you
can just
post that? You didn't answer my question.
Because that's
you wanted to. Why did you
that's
post
the point.
it?
I don't just see myself as a sexual object. I'm actually intelligent. I'm confident. And
Oh,
I don't.
I'm
I don't.
not.
I don't
I'm
feel
not.
the
Am I
need-
not
Hold on,
intelligent,
I don't
Piers?
feel.
Well,
I
she
don't
certainly
feel
strikes me as intelligent
Yeah, okay,
and
of course.
confident.
But
So
the thing
what's
is,
the difference? Why is it
here's-
okay for
here's-
her to spread her bumhole on
here's
the
the
internet? But
difference.
I'm also very
I'm
intelligent
not charging
and successful.
people for it, and it's in the context
That's
of a
worse.
sport. Do you?
That's
do you?
worse. They're wanking to
okay,
you
look
for
at
nothing.
Look at the runners in
I'm
the
dead.
Olympics, like the female 100-meter sprints. They're wearing literally bum shorts that show their bums and their legs, and a sports bra.
That's
but
a
they're
great
doing it in
point.
the context of the sport.
If you were running like miles per day for free versus for money,
so you're
the
talking about
person
something you have no experience of. You've never tried pole. You've never done anything. But because it doesn't qualify for the kinds of sports that's okay with you,
What?
you think you're drawing a moral equivalence. Pole is a sport.
I didn't say it wasn't. What?
But I'm doing that in the context of a sport.
Okay.
Our gymnasts.
And mine's
our
in the
gymnasts-
context of a job.
Oh, well, okay. Well, listen, here's the thing. Bottom line, I don't really care what you do. I don't have a problem with it. I'm happy you're getting paid and you find it fulfilling.
And I'm
the
happy
point,
you
the,
enjoy
the,
pole
line, the line,
dancing.
Is pole dancing a sport? Is that a sport? I never looked into it. You guys let me know down below. Is that a sport? Is that like a real thing, or is she just kind of making that up? I don't know. Is that like people compete in pole dancing? That's interesting.
the
I'm
line
happy
I'm
you enjoy
drawing
pole
is
dancing.
this.
I'm happy happy you picked the sport that correlates with a form of sex work. You didn't have to do that, but you chose to do it because you enjoy it.
Or empowering about what you do. That's just where I draw the line. Because there are women around the world. There are women around the world that don't have the privileges of living in a Western democracy like you, that can call the police if they're getting abused. There are women around the world that are actually being pimped out by horrible men, sleeping with probably a dozen men a day.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I literally just say that you have to be able to separate the morality from the product, from the practice? Same with chocolate. Would you say chocolate is objectively immoral?
You're as much a hooker as they are.
Would you say chocolate is objectively immoral just because the supply chains tend to be
immoral?
I don't
think you can look at my physique and expect me to say chocolate is immoral.
Well, chocolate is
I'm dead.
But genuinely, what do you
only
think
half an hour ago.
It's a fruit.
What do you think of that analogy?
Do you know what I really think about this? It's interesting. I personally, my view of feminism is actually that women should be able to do what they like without men controlling their lives, telling them what to do, blah, blah, blah. If you want to do what you're doing and it's legal and people want to pay for whatever it is that you offer up, I don't care. It's fine. My only worry is that what it's become is a kind of genuine career path for a lot of young girls who might look at this and think, all I need to do is set up an OnlyFans account, take my clothes off, and a bunch of guys will pay money to watch me do my thing privately in a webcam or whatever it is. And I think that is the bit of it that concerns me, is that a whole generation of young girls think they're a bit like they did with the Kardashians in a different way, is that there's a shortcut to fame and fortune that involves no actual skill. It doesn't mean you're not intelligent, doesn't mean you're not beautiful, any of those things. It's not a skill. Anyone can do it.
Exactly.
And are we creating a whole generation of young girls who think this is a better career path because it's more lucrative?
I agree.
Yo, you know what? Let me get into this real quick, because I actually do have a lot to say on this. Okay, so here's my stance. First of all, the reason why we can't make OnlyFans like the norm. I mean, it is becoming the norm. I think it already is the norm. But the reason why we kept pornography and sex work relegated to like the red light district, it was like very, and we shamed it. We made that like the thing you didn't want to do. It was looked at the last resort. It was looked at as a last resort for women. If they were like on the streets, destitute, it's like, okay, that's the only thing I have left. We did that because here's the thing. There's certain bad behaviors that if we have them in society in small portions, society will still thrive. It will still survive. Let's take sex work, for example. If sex work is relegated to like a very small community, it's not pushed, it's not something that's celebrated, it's not something that's, people are getting into. It can exist in society. Pornography can exist in society in small doses. You take that same pornography and sex work and you make that the predominant, or just make that like just out there as just the very common way to go, a very common profession, a very common thing to consume. You now warp society in a way that I don't think people are really, I really don't think they're understanding. Let me see if I can explain it to you. It's not just the major porn stars or the major OnlyFans girls that you need to worry about. I'm talking about you. Like, you're a guy watching this right now. You might be thinking, well, I would never date a porn star, or I would never date one of those famous OnlyFans girls. That's crazy, bro. And I agree with you. That is crazy. But here's the problem with this OnlyFans thing. You are out here saying that you will avoid the major ones. But what you don't realize is that the girl at Walmart at work in the grocery line, or the girl at Starbucks, regular girls from our perspective, you don't realize that she has an OnlyFans too. You see, it's not just the full-time porn stars that you have to worry about, or the full-time OnlyFans chicks like Farrah that you have to worry about. It's the part-timers. It's the ones who do it on the side. It's the girls who do it on the side, they work at Starbucks, but they also have an OnlyFans to help bring in a couple more $100 bills that month. Maybe make another $1,000 a month, another $2,000 a month. So you meet that girl now, and because she's not a famous porn star or a famous OnlyFans star, you think, I'm safe. She's a regular girl. She has a regular job, by the way. You don't know that for the last 2-3 years, this chick has been selling naked pictures to men online. Bucks for the month. It's not, bro, these girls are dabbling in sex work. They're dabbling in prostitution. It's the regular girls around you. I know 3 chicks, 3, count them, 3. That's just the ones I know who work in my job who do OnlyFans. They work a regular job. You would never know. But on the side, she's snapping photos and posting it online to make a few more dollars. That's the problem. When we make it be like, you know what? I need to make some extra money. And instead of the thought process going to, maybe I should pick up an extra job. Maybe I should work some extra hours at work. Or maybe I should get a different profession, go back to school, learn a trade, learn a skill. No, their thought process is, I need to make some extra money. OnlyFans. Let me hop on OnlyFans real quick. Snap some pictures of my butt or my vagina, my boobs. And there you go. There goes $500 a month extra in my bank account. That now when they think I need to make more money. It's let me sell myself from a sexual standpoint. And that's becoming the norm. And when we no longer have the stigma around selling your body, that's when it becomes unable to really make a delineation between the full-time porn stars and the part-time porn stars, because there's no difference. One is just more overt, one is hiding it. They're both low-quality women. They're both women you don't want to commit to, but how do you, when society's pushing that, you don't know which women to trust anymore. I'm telling you guys, we need to push harder against this OnlyFans thing, bro. Because I promise you that you don't know. That's the scary part. But you know women who have OnlyFans. You just don't know they have OnlyFans. A lot of girls in your friend groups have OnlyFans. A lot of girls in your friend groups have, what do they call it? Premium Snapchat. And they're selling it because they're not famous. So you'll wife up a chick thinking, oh, well, I wifed up a regular girl. She's not out here doing that. You don't know what she was doing for the past couple of years, bro. How she was making that money. How she was able to afford those things. We really got to push back against this, because if we make, like what Farah's trying to push, normalizing women selling their bodies, if we make that the norm any more than it is now, we are going to find ourselves in a society that is completely void of female morality and decency. And that is going to further push men and women apart. And this is, I can't imagine it getting worse than this, but brother, good Lord, I really hope it doesn't.
That's why
actual skills.
Initially said, like, when they asked me, like, I don't share my income publicly. This was the first time, because, like, I don't want to encourage women to go into it. And I always say in every podcast appearance I do that I don't think girls should go into it. The average income you make is $100. The median income is $30 a month. And for me,
on OnlyFans.
On OnlyFans.
Right.
For me, I was already sitting on 2 million followers. I was already doing social media full time. I knew I was going to be able to retire off it and cash out off of it. That's not the case for most
And when do you
women.
want to retire?
When do I want to?
When do you want to get out of it?
I mean, I love doing it. I think it's so fun. So, I mean, I'll keep it going for...
Or do you just love the money? Be honest.
I'm going to be honest with you. I love this more than the money. I love defending it. I love the smoke.
But
I
if
love
you were
the
making
backlash.
no-
I
if
love
you-
being slut-shamed. I think it's really fun.
Well, I'm not
I
slut-shaming
would
you.
trade all the money in the world for this.
I've got no intention of slut shaming. I think it's entirely
Well,
down
you're
to
not
you.
in a position to, because you're upside down on a pole and stuff.
Well,
So.
yeah, because I actually have a skill, because I'm athletic. Anyway, no one's
So if I do
slut-shaming
that on
you.
OnlyFans, I'm skilled. Part of my
Trained.
OnlyFans, if I did
you
everything upside
Here's the thing,
down.
I actually follow pole dancers, many of whom are former gymnasts, that actually do this. And I don't have a problem with it. Again, I don't know why you think I'm so invested in your life that I care about what you're doing. The point that I'm making is there is nothing feminist or empowering about what you're doing. Empowerment means you actually create opportunities for yourself. There's a long-term look at hold on, there's a long-term perspective of empowerment. A heroin addict doesn't create long-term opportunities for himself because he's engaging in momentary autonomy of taking in heroin. If women that fought for the choices of women wasn't because we want
you know the difference though?
Here's my question.
There's a big
fighting for women to
opportunities for myself by getting on dollars.
Because you cannot become a lawyer or a politician because there will be pictures of your butthole on literally billboards around cities.
Do you think if you ran for office, that photo would not be plastered all over every commercial? They would say, do you want this woman running your state or your country?
Yes, that's fine.
That's fine. Then it's fine for me too. We agree.
Oh, okay. So.
Gotta say, I don't think either of you are actually going to become politicians.
Yeah,
why?
Are you? Have you got any plans to?
That's
I definitely do. But the thing is, I think there's something deeply offensive about the sacrifices that women have made to give women the choices to be able to advance themselves in their lives and actually pursue things that they want, and being compared to online prostitutes, which are a bunch of 20-something-year-olds that generally just don't want to be waitresses and actually just want to get easy money online. I think there's something deeply offensive about that.
Here's the thing about feminism. It's not really about putting women in the best situation. Feminism is going to defend anything women can extract value from. Women can extract value from sexuality, part of feminism. The downstream effect of it, they don't really care about. The primary thing that women are concerned about with is how can I extract value? If being naked and devaluing yourself from a sexual standpoint is something that women can utilize to extract value from, then we need to incorporate that in, right? We need to incorporate that into feminism so we can engage with it without being, feeling shameful. That's why. But then there's women's sense of self-respect, who respect their bodies, who respect themselves, who don't want to align with that. Like I said, feminism has very different, it has a lot of different sectors, a lot of different, what would you call it? It's like how the church has different denominations. Feminism has very different belief systems depending on which group you're talking to. And these two chicks are on two different ends of the spectrum. One believes that, feminism is about actually empowering yourself, making good decisions that are going to impact you in a way that's going to get you respect, both from women and from men, and not going to affect your future in a way that is going to be destructive or limit opportunities for you. I actually think that is the better definition for empowerment. I always viewed empowerment as to be better, to become better. I don't think empowerment is just doing what you want. That's just autonomy. Autonomy is doing what you want. Empowerment is better. And what is better? Well, I think most people would view better from like a moral standpoint. Because if we just view better from the personal standpoint of whatever I deem better is, then that can go down a very dark road. We view better for, this is why we used religion to determine what better was, because religion had a set of principles and it instilled a standard of morality in which we could determine it's better for you, it'll give you better outcomes, and it'll give society better outcomes. That's why we use religion. Now that we've torn down religion, we are now using our personal wants and desires to determine what better is. So Farah, she believes that sexualizing herself, making money, and, even if it comes at the cost of societal decency, that's the better choice. And nobody can really debate her on that because we've done away with religion. We've done away with the set standard. So everyone's just coming in with their own idea of what better is. And this is why things are just going to hell. We need religion to set the standard. Because if we are left to set the standard, you're going to have a bunch of Farahs over here with her extreme take on what's better. I'm doing better for me. And that means sexualizing myself and degrading myself. Another chick might think, oh, I'm doing better for me. She's doing some other degenerate thing. And then we just have a society of men and women doing what's better for them by their own made up, standard, which wasn't, come up with to benefit, which wasn't really put in place to benefit their neighbor. It wasn't meant to benefit their partner. It wasn't meant to benefit society. It was just meant to benefit them. And when we make decisions, we can't just think about what's good for me. And that's a problem with feminism. Feminism is a very individualistic way of thinking and viewing the world, where it's all about me. What do I want? What makes me happy? If you only focus on that, you neglect the bigger picture, because we're all in this society together. So we have to look at the overall, experience. And we have to, it's very clear if you do that and you look at the overall experience, that you're going to see that feminism is going to degrade societal morality in a way that will have very negative effects, both psychologically, morally, the choices people make, the professions they get into, and just how they view women overall. Because I guarantee you, the respect factor of women in society has definitely plummeted over the years. It has astronomically plummeted. If you think, like, the more liberated women have become, the less respect they have from men. What do you think happens if you're in a society where men don't respect women? If you even go on TikTok for a short period of time and you listen to the way men now view women, by women's own doing, the way they move sexually, the way they talk, the way they act in relationships, the way they value marriages, all liberated female, and they're like, I don't respect this woman. A huge talking point amongst men now, well, there was this TikTok that went viral, and men were talking about how they would, if a Titanic situation were to occur, they would not sacrifice themselves on behalf of women. Women would have to take the L on that one. They would get to lifeboats first. They're not sacrificing themselves for women. You know why men are no longer wanting to sacrifice themselves for women? They no longer respect women. They don't respect women anymore. The more we push this society where we're saying, well, do whatever you want, be sexually liberated, be free, let's do away with the moral standard, and if it's moral to me, that's all that matters. You got to understand that men, you rely on men. You want, because when you are now living in a society where men don't care to protect you anymore, because they look at you as just another hoe, just another chick that's just out here, they're not going to come running to your aid if you're in trouble. They're not going to come help you out, lift something heavy. They're not going to come protect you from bad things happening. And it honestly, which I don't agree with, but many of them will use that as justification to treat you poorly and do bad things to you. You don't want men who are put in the position of protecting and providing for women to lose all respect. But this is the direction we're going in as we continue to erode female morality. And it's just, I don't understand. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say that. I understand. Feminists' goal, they don't care. The feminism is literally put in place to destroy society. You can call that an extreme take. You can say that, it's just common sense. Look at every society that feminism has touched and tell me you don't see a problem. It's like a cancer. It's like a plague traveling. But we keep allowing them to spew this, it's all about equality. All it is about equality and an opportunity. Just look at the poison around you. Look at the venom they spew. Look at how everywhere it goes, the relationship between men and women erodes. The morality erodes. The thing wasn't put in place to destroy society, to destroy the world. Bro, it's demonic. It literally is. If you guys haven't, I highly recommend reading Rachel Wilson's book, Occult Feminism. I literally just read it not too long ago. The full thing. Well, I listened to it. I got the audiobook. And I listened to the whole thing. And even went back to, listen to a couple chapters again. And let me tell you guys, Feminism absolutely got its roots in occultic practices. It's very dark. And she backs it up with proof. She backs it up with literally the writings and the speeches of the original feminists and what their intentions were. Literally from their own mouth, the documents that they wrote. And that they're stating verbatim, we need to destroy the nuclear family. Bro, they in many cases, in many situations, they attacked religion because religion upheld the structure that women needed to uphold when it came to decency and sexuality and hierarchy. And you're going to tell me that feminism is not a demonic thing. I'm calling it, man. That's what it is. And that's why everywhere it goes, we see failure. We see decay. It's a cancer. It's a societal cancer. And we need to become aware of this, and we need to uproot it. And I have faith that men can do it, because this new generation of men, we're not asleep. We're very aware of what we're up against, and men are waking up. And some women as well, they're waking up and they're pushing back as well. So I have faith that we can uproot this from society, but it's going to take a very drastic push. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. If you got value from it, please go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Leave a comment down below. Do you think you can be a feminist? Do you think you can do OnlyFans and be a feminist? And where do you think society is going when it comes to OnlyFans, pornography, sex work? Where do you think we're headed? I think we're not heading in a great direction, but I have faith. I have hope, because I see the way men are changing. And if this continues with men waking up, I think there's going to be a great push where men are like, okay, we're taking power back. We're going to put an end to this, because us men, we can end it. We can end it whenever we want to. Feminism only exists because us men allow it to. The second we say, all right, this is over, it's over. And I think more and more men are coming to that way of thinking where it's like, we're just not going to allow this thing to have any oxygen anymore. We're going to stifle it. We're going to choke it out. We are not going to let it be dominant in society. We're going to push back against it as much as possible. We're not giving into it. And part of feminism's destruction is men not playing into it. For a very long time, men were weak, passive, allowed women to beat them down, and use feminism to hold over them as this means of, you're the oppressors, pay penance and submit to us women. We're telling you now. And men are finally being emboldened, screw this. No. We're rejecting that. We're rejecting the history that they're trying to rewrite as men as these great oppressors of women, when men were actually the protectors of women. And so I'm really happy that there's men waking up, and I do see a future where feminism is dead. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. And until next time, guys, take it easy.